watching To Whom It May Concern on WYSP Beauty with your host, JaiLynn Joanna. Thank me like you have never thanked me before. To whom it may concern, don't be afraid to express yourself. Brows are the new it thing. I mean, through every century, through every decade, your brows are a focal point that are consistently changing. In the 1920s, they were pencil thin. In the 60s and 70s, they were a little bit thicker, and then they went back to pencil thin. So what did we do? We tweezed, we shaved, we waxed. We went crazy with our brows, and then before you knew it, we started ruining our brows, and then we had hair that wouldn't grow back, and then we started to tattoo them. We started to do everything in the world to your brows. But you never really know exactly how to find the perfect brow. Expressing yourself is key. You can look really mad, you can look really sexy, or you can look really fierce with really amazing brows. But a lot of people don't understand exactly how a brow works. Now, with your brow, there are three parts to the brow. You want to find your head, you want to find the arch, and you want to find the tail. Your head should measure this way. Your arch, if you take the angle, it should measure right there, right literally above the eyeball, like the ball, the iris. And then your tail shouldn't go further than the eye. So it's like the 3 points, your head, your arch, and your brow. So you shouldn't start a little bit like too dark in here. You always want to start out a little lighter than the end. Now, the way that I actually do my brows is this. What I do is I start with the most amazing pencil that I have ever found in the industry, and it's by Kevin Aquan. It is the dark brunette in the Precision Brow Pencil. The reason that I love this pencil is because you can roll it up and roll it down, and it has a little brow comb on the end. I find the line of brow of where it makes me feel my absolute most comfortable on the bottom. Is I go on the top of there, and I go like right on the top of my natural hairs and do another line and kind of bring them and connect them together. I always want to make sure that my arch isn't too high. I want to make sure that on the tail it's not too low. And then what I also want to do is I want to go according to what is in trend as well. Right now in trend, the natural brow or the ombre brow is the brow that is like really in. And the ombre brow is just this type of a brow where it's a lighter gradation from light to dark. Finding the right shape that works for you is a little bit difficult. Sometimes it can be a little bit trying. And if you make a mistake and you take out the wrong hair, like people freak out. What I would also suggest is if you live in certain areas where they do threading or really good waxing or really good tweezing, trust your professional. But if you can't go to a professional and you really don't have access to anyone like that, it's okay to try yourself. But don't over tweeze, don't over pluck, don't over wax, don't over thread. Just try to keep it as natural as possible, because you can always add like you know, a little bit of depth and you know, things like that. But if you make a mistake and then you're not wearing your brow pencil, a lot of people get very insecure because they don't realize like how important brows are to their face. And then they're like, oh my god, like I always have to wear makeup in order to like feel my absolute best. And you don't want to always have to wear makeup. This is just something that I use like just to feel like my absolute best self, because I love like a thicker full brow, but my natural brows unfortunately don't grow like that anymore because of over tweezing and over plucking in the 90s. And I get mad at myself for doing that, but hey, you can't change the past. All you have to do is just accept yourself for who you are. Now, after I fill in my brow and get it the absolute perfect shape that I wanted to, I take my brush and I just kind of filter through and then soften every line and soften every stroke. I try to imitate natural hair lines when I actually apply my brow pencil. So I try to like go in there and kind of stipple and pull and stipple. And remember that brows are not twins. They don't have to match each other exactly. We call them sisters. So one sister can be a little bit higher, one sister can be a little bit fuller, but remember, it's just makeup. If you're not happy with your brows, you can always take them off with gentle eye makeup remover and start over again. So don't be afraid to express yourself with your brows. This is To Whom It May Concern, and I'm JaiLynn Joanna signing out, and I'll see you on our next episode next week. Have a good day. Bye.
Yes, I love that. Sisters, not twins. Ladies and gentlemen, they and them, thanks so much for joining us for this episode of To Whom It May Concern with JaiLynn Joanna, brought to you by WYSP Beauty. We come out with new episodes every Thursday on IGTV and on YouTube, so check us out there at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. This is brought to you by Whatever You Say Productions, LLC. All rights reserved. We'll see you next week.